Awareness, as the book title suggests, is all about living life with more awareness, mindfulness, watchfulness, call it whatever you want. If you're not familiar with Osho's work or spiritual reading in general, some things may come across as weird and you'll probably get a lot of question marks. That's normal. If you can identify with some of what he says, great. And if not, then it's maybe not for you. And don't be put off by the tag spiritual. I used to be very skeptical about it, but spiritual books aren't what they're made out to be. What they actually teach you is to give less of a fuck about the small stuff in life. Who is awareness for? Anyone interested in living a more carefree, spontaneous life. Anyone who's going through a really hard time right now. Anyone struggling to find purpose and happiness in life. 1. The normal state of humanity, sleepwalking. You sleep when you sleep, but you also sleep while you are awake. Even right now you are dreaming within. 1001 thoughts continue, and you are not conscious of what is happening, you are not aware of what you are doing, you are not aware of who you are. You move as people move in sleep. We go on living absolutely inattentive to what is happening around us. Yes, we have become very efficient in doing things. What we are doing, we have become so efficient in doing that we don't need any awareness to do it. It has become mechanical, automatic. We function like robots. According to Osho and other spiritual gurus like Lao Tzu or Buddha, most of us move through life like sleepwalkers, never really present in what we're doing, never fully alert to our environment, and never even aware of what motivates us to do and say the things we do. We live mechanical, automatic, unconscious lives. While we're asleep, we simply act out our conditionings, habits, and impulses. That's what sleepwalking means, acting mechanically, habitually, automatically, impulsively, unconsciously. When we're sleepwalking, we're not really there, we're absent, lost in our thoughts about the future or the past, but not present. If you look at other people, you can see this quite well. People are never really here now, never really alert and conscious. They are always asleep, either worrying about the future or thinking about the past. They are absent. And so are you. And so am I. That's simply the current state of humanity. The opposite of that state is being present, what Osho calls awareness. 2. What is awareness? Awareness means that whatsoever is happening in the moment is happening with complete consciousness, you are present there. Awareness means being present to the moment. It means being fully alert, fully conscious, fully here now. It means inhabiting the present moment with all 5 senses. You are simply taking in everything the moment has to offer. When you're washing the dishes, awareness means washing the dishes and not being occupied with anything else. Not thinking about yesterday. Not thinking about tomorrow. Just washing the dishes. Smelling the soap. Feeling the warm water running down your hands and arms. Seeing the ceramic of the dishes getting cleaner and cleaner. 3. Another word for awareness, watchfulness. The only thing that has to be learned is watchfulness. Watch. Watch every act that you do. Watch every thought that passes in your mind. Watch every desire that takes possession of you. Watch even small gestures, walking, talking, eating, taking a bath. Go on watching everything. Let everything become an opportunity to watch. Don't eat mechanically, don't just go on stuffing yourself, be very watchful. Chew well and watchfully, and you will be surprised how much you have been missing up to now, because each bite will give you tremendous satisfaction. Being watchful, being aware, being alert, those are all the same things. We can also call it mindfulness, a term which you may be more familiar with. Mindfulness is defined as the basic human ability to be fully present, aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. Another definition, mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing one's awareness on the present moment, while calmly acknowledging and accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations, used as a therapeutic technique. Awareness, mindfulness, watchfulness. Call it what you like. The book is all about growing this skill. 4. 2 ways out of suffering. People are living in suffering. There are only two ways out of it. They can become meditators, alert, awake, conscious. That's an arduous thing. It needs guts. Or the cheaper way is to find something that can make you even more unconscious than you are, so you cannot feel the misery. Find something that makes you utterly insensitive, some intoxicant, some painkiller that makes you so unconscious that you can escape into that unconsciousness and forget all about your anxiety, anguish, meaninglessness. People are living in suffering. If you're familiar with Buddhism, you know this is the first of four noble truths: life is suffering. It is impossible to live without experiencing some kind of suffering. We endure physical suffering like injury, exhaustion, sickness, old age, and eventually death. And we endure psychological suffering like fear, frustrations, loneliness, embarrassment, disappointment, the death of loved ones, and so on. There's no doubt about this, life is suffering. So, how do you get out of it? According to OSHO, there are two ways. The first way out of suffering is meditation, awareness, mindfulness. Of course, this is the way OSHO and other spiritual masters recommend. It's a difficult path. One that requires patience, hard work, and persistence. The second way to alleviate suffering is to simply cover it up by becoming unconscious. This is what most of us do all the time. When we feel the slightest itch of negative emotions, we turn on the television, play video games, read the news, hop on Facebook, or check our emails. This second way has become a real way of life for most of us. We dread even a moment of being alone with ourselves and our emotions. We have a desperate need to stay unconscious, so that we are unaware of our suffering. David R. Hawkins, another spiritual teacher, put it well in his book, Letting Go. People are desperate to stay unconscious. We observe how often people flick on the television set the minute they enter a room and then walk around in a dreamlike state, constantly being programmed by the data poured into them. People are terrified of facing themselves. They dread even a moment of aloneness. Thus the constant frantic activities, the endless socializing, talking, texting, reading, music playing, working, traveling, sightseeing, shopping, overeating, gambling, movie-going, pill-taking, drug using, and cocktail partying. We are so terrified of being with ourselves, most of us can't even go to the toilet without our cell phones. 5. The miracle of awareness. And the miracle of awareness is that you need not do anything except become aware. The very phenomenon of watching it changes it. Act, speak, with full awareness, and then you will find a tremendous change in you. The very fact that you are aware changes your acts. And when you watch, a clarity arises. Why does clarity arise out of watchfulness? Because the more watchful you become, the more all your hastiness slows down. You become more graceful. As you watch, your chattering mind chatters less, because the energy that was becoming chattering is turning and becoming watchfulness. It is the same energy. Now more and more energy will be transformed into watchfulness, and the mind will not get its nourishment. Thoughts will start becoming thinner, they will start losing weight. Slowly, slowly, they will start dying. And as thoughts start dying, clarity arises. Now your mind becomes like a mirror. So, how exactly does awareness reduce suffering? How does it improve your life? How does it make you happier? What's the point, basically? The first thing to understand is that you don't need to do anything in the process. You don't need to try to change your thoughts, emotions, or your behavior. All you have to do is become more aware. Pay more attention. Be more alert, watchful. The way positive change will happen is by the mere act of watching. As you watch something, it automatically starts changing for the better. When you watch negative thoughts, they lose their power over you, they don't disturb you so much anymore, and one day they'll just disappear. When you watch negative emotions, the same thing happens. They lose their power over you, and then they disappear. When you watch your positive emotions, a different phenomenon happens. They grow stronger. As you keep watching them, you start experiencing them more and more often. In the scientific literature, this process of watching positive emotions is called savoring, and it's been shown to improve people's happiness. When you watch your behavior, something else happens. You will become aware that anger always makes you and everyone around you miserable. You will see that holding a grudge is a silly thing, all it does is make you miserable. Once you see what you get out of your behavior patterns, they will start dropping automatically. If you truly see that insulting people is silly, then you will automatically stop doing it. That's the promise of awareness. Here's another example. If you are carrying stones in your hand thinking that they are diamonds, I will not tell you to renounce those stones. I will simply say, be alert and have another look. If you yourself see that they are not diamonds, is there any need to renounce them? They will fall from your hands of their own accord. In fact, if you still want to carry them, you will have to make a great effort, you will have to bring great